Commerce.
And transportation is huge to the economic vitality of the region.
And also I think the idea that we ought to try to create an environment where novel approaches to getting highways reconstructed or new roads being built to be discussed. You know, they call those public-private partnerships. And, you know, Governor Corzine, I happen to think, to his credit, ought to be given a little bit of praise for raising the idea of monetizing certain public assets. In order
Even though he got ridiculed and booed off the stage and the idea is dead now, he gets points for it because?
Vision, gumption. I mean, the idea in 2008 that you've got to be, you know, ultra safe and not take on the controversial matters because it troubles certain constituent groups is not, at least in the executive branch, Steve. You got
to make decisions. I'm a former state legislator. We didn't have to do anything other than propose legislation and make speeches and try to get in the paper.
Yeah, and you know, Steve.
No disrespect, but that's a different job than being a chief executive.
I'll say this to you as it relates to the mindset of a legislator. I remember a legislator turning to me when I became president of the Senate because, as will soon happen in New Jersey, you'll have a lieutenant governor and be president of the Senate.
Right.
And I remember the office holder turning to me on the floor and saying, "Well, good luck to you up there." And he said, "Listen, this is a place where, you know, if you don't know how to be on both sides of an issue, you don't belong here." And now, I don't agree with that, but it says something about legislative mindset. But you're right. In the executive branch,
gotta make decisions.
It's about being decisive. And someday there will be a hybrid of this public-private partnership that will come about in a way that the residents will accept it. And really, it comes down to you know, maybe moving a little too quickly on that model, but it's a sound model when implemented properly.
What else? One other top priority from the chamber that's most important.
Well, we talked about infrastructure. I happen to think that our competitiveness in this greater Philadelphia area and southern New Jersey and southeastern PA really will be a function of our commitment to education and training, whether it's, you know, the reading in the first grade to you know, medical care, special medical care training for someone that wants to go into radiology at a hospital, to, you know, to genomic research, the kind that they do at the Curiel Institute in the Camden area. You know, that research leads to innovation. That innovation can lead to ultimately good business ideas. I mean, you can take care of people and also create companies that can be very successful in a financial sense.
And the role of the chamber there is what, though?
Well, to show the way, to see to it that significant financial commitments and technical backing exists for large-scale research efforts, you know, stem cell research as an example. I mean, keep in mind that, you know, there was, for good reason, that New Jersey is often referred to as, you know, a trend-setting place in pharma and, you know, the nation's medicine chest. Because of, you know, years, decades of seminal, rewarding research that saved lives. Same for southeastern Pennsylvania. And we have to create the political cover, in my mind, for office holders to make tough votes so that we have the investment that leads to the innovation. And it's not just in raw dollars. It's also a matter of, you know, the innovation, and that has to be financed. And indirectly, the most important means of economic movement in an indirect sense now is what goes on in the classrooms and public school funding, and that's a challenge in both in all jurisdictions.
Governor, before I let you out here, I don't want to say this just because we're partners with the Comcast network, but the media piece of this is key. I mean, with CN8, the Comcast network, you know, all the way up in Maine, right down to outside of DC area. That's a big piece of this equation in terms of being able to communicate with large numbers of people, right?
Well, this is a day and age where buzz is as important as venture capital. So the message that we generate and the resultant buzz creates fascination, and only that, you know, that mind share that you're trying to affect leads to market share. So for us, Comcast, and you know, obviously Comcast has a brand new state-of-the-art,
amazing facility.
Yeah, Comcast Center in Philadelphia, and you know, because of that, its prominence, and you know, I'll mention David Cohen, who's a top officer of the company. Will come October will be you know, the board chairman of the Greater Philadelphia Chamber of Commerce, and to tell the world that this is a rewarding place to be. is a big advantage. And it's a nice leg up to have Comcast as a big corporate citizen and a civic-minded one.
Well, we're proud to be your partner, and proud that you and pleased that you came all the way up to do the show, Governor. We appreciate it. Wish you all the best with the chamber, and we're here anytime you have something important to talk about.
Thanks, Steve. I appreciate it. Great to see you.
Right there.